not going to go that far, but we know that Cenk and Ana are going to jump on that. All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Hit that like and subscribe. You know I'd do it for you, and let's party. Guys, something is a brewing. Something is a changing. Something is going on, because I watched a TYT segment, and it wasn't just Ana, who I kind of agreed with. I told you something is going on. Ana's getting red pilled. She's taking Cenk with her. Now, I'm being a little facetious. I don't think they're really going to be, conservatives or Republicans anytime soon. But check this out and tell me if you think you would have ever expected this to be on the Young Turks even last year.
We had somebody earlier tell us that if Trump was standing on the steps of the White House and murdered someone, he'd still vote for him. Same with you?
Mm-hmm.
How come?
I don't know. I like Trump. He just got something about him.
Something about him.
Trump can do no wrong. That was the dominant message among some Trump supporters who spoke to our very own Michael Shore at the former president's rally in Pickens, South Carolina over the weekend.
So already we have a qualifier. She said some Trump reporters. All right.
Let's watch a little more of the reaction to Michael Shore's question.
There are indictments. There's audio tape of him with classified documents, sharing them with people who didn't have that security clearance. Does any of that bother you?
No, I think they've been after him so long that all of this is just a witch hunt, like he described it. I don't think there's anything Trump's done wrong. I think that the desperate opposition is just after him. I mean, they started out, and they've been after him 8 different ways, and they're going to keep after him until they can get him in jail, I think.
And I'm not a big Trumper. I don't see myself voting for Trump, but I definitely would, depending on how the next year plays out. But I'm one of the people who believe that I don't think that Trump is innocent, but certainly no more guilty than any other president we've had in my lifetime. And it's not a fringe opinion. This is what the average conservative Trump supporting person thinks.
They went after Richard Nixon, they went after Bill Clinton, and now the courts in several different states are finding different things about Trump. Is there anything that could happen with him indictment-wise that would say, all right, maybe this disqualifies him for president?
Not for me. I'm with him to the finish.
And again, depending on how the next year plays out, I could see myself saying the same thing, that whatever charges they throw at him, I'm with him because, despite the fact that he's done that, I'm with him because I don't think he has done that.
All right, thank you so much.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
Okay, well, I'm not going to go that far. But we know that Cenk and Ana are going to jump on that.
So what I found interesting about that video is, on one hand, when he's referring to the Trump indictments, he's kind of repeating what he's heard in right-wing media about how there's no there there, these indictments mean nothing, there's no evidence of him engaging in any wrongdoing. And I do think that that statement is the product of his media filter bubble. However, with that said, he also admits that if Trump committed murder, he would still support him. And so that goes against, what my belief is in regard to most Trump supporters who it's not that they support his criminality, it's just that they don't believe his criminality to be true.
Okay, I'm with you, Ana, but Ana's been on that red pill kick, so word up.
But in this particular case, clearly this supporter doesn't really care too much about potential criminality, or if he literally committed murder, which blows my mind.
And the guy before him, and a lot more people. So let me.
And here we go with Cenk gonna take up the reins and pour gasoline on the fire as much as he can.
But let me give you both sides here, because there's reality on both sides. So what do I mean by that? So first of all, having seen a ton of these interacting with Republicans outside of these interviews, but also seeing the whole breadth of the interviews that we do all the time. First of all, not all Republicans think that way.
Cenk, did you just say something rational about people who have opinions that disagree with you?
And so it's easy to say, okay, they're all the same, and which, by the way, they think of us too, right? And so I have seen slightly more moderate Republicans, and certainly I've seen plenty of Republicans who would say, well, if he was on tape and he killed someone, yeah, that's too much.
Rationality from Cenk Uygur. Rationality from Cenk Uygur. I don't know who started this and who got Ana to, look back at a little bit of her own position. She said it was a lot about the pushback that she got from, the anti-crime stuff and the gender identity stuff. But whatever happened, whoever was whispering in her ear, thank you so much. Now, I don't watch the Young Turks like this, but again, I cover them semi-regularly because I know that so many people do watch them. They have an immense amount of influence. And so even slight changes like this are going to have a massive effect.
Right, so I'm being fair. Number two,
you are being fair.
I understand where they're going with the double standard. They say, look, you're telling me Trump broke all these laws, but then you've got all these other politicians who are corrupt and nobody ever says anything about them.
More rationality.
And they're not wrong about that. Mainstream media, if you're an outsider or you don't belong in the establishment, whether you're Trump, Bernie, etc., they'll find 1,000 things wrong with you. And then the most corrupt people on earth are your mainstream Republicans and Democrats, and mainstream media can't find anything wrong with them. Just can't find it, right?
That is crazy. If you are just as surprised as I, you will definitely find a home at the Indian Jesus Discord server where the party never ends. That's right, 24/7. We are in there hanging out. And after every single live stream, we go in there for an after panel where you are not stuck behind your keyboard, but you are actually on screen with me and everybody else. You can come up if you want to. You don't have to. Either way, it is a grand old time. Come and join us.
Right? Give me Jack Smith as a prosecutor. I'll get you incredible things that Mitch McConnell's done wrong, Nancy Pelosi's done wrong. So they're not exactly wrong about the double standard, okay? Now, having said that, two things jump out at me on the other side. Okay, so one is, look, there used to be something I call the Barkley rule. Charles Barkley would say so many crazy things that eventually it just became a Barkley thing. Like other people would get in trouble and Barkley wouldn't, because you're like, oh, it's just Charles Barkley. So Trump did the same thing, that was easy, right?
Sure.
Then Trump did a new thing that I'll call the Trump rule. He broke so many laws that his own supporters think, well, it must be persecution. Nobody could have broken that many laws. So they're obviously targeting him. They're targeting him for this. They must be trying to get him.
Seems reasonable, right? When none of these charges are coming through, yes, they impeached him, but we have indictments, we have all that stuff. But at the end of the day, what has he really done that any other president in our modern history hasn't done?
No, they're a little bit trying to get him. And they're mainly Trump broke 1,000 laws because he's a pathological criminal.
Yeah, I look.
Well, I know I knew it wasn't gonna last too long, but hey, little seeds grow into a tree. So all we need is a little bit more of this from TYT, a little bit more of this from Cenk, and maybe they can redeem their spot of respectability when it comes to alternative news. Now, I don't have to agree with them, and neither do you, for us to understand that they are, in fact, an organization that is interested in informing people rather than pushing an agenda. Now, I'm not ready to say that's not who they are just yet, but they are certainly moving in the right direction. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is this more of the same and I'm just seeing it? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Once again, I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, I am out of here. Peace.